wanted to explore with us. Husband kisses wife goodbye after poisoning her shake. What? You make me a shake and you gonna poison it? We could just get a divorce. We could just get a divorce. Let's see. Let's watch. Embarrassing.
She kind of just like laid down and said that she felt dizzy and she wasn't feeling well. It was absolutely sickening.
But I am angry. You just brought me home. Wait,
what?
What kind of sick person does that?
It just is psychotic.
I think you think she's gonna die.
There's some drugs that wouldn't show up on that drug panel.
And so potassium cyanide is not something that we use in dentistry. I don't even know how to acquire potassium cyanide.
It just is a whole another layer of just wicked.
A Colorado mother begins experiencing sudden and devastating symptoms after a morning workout. Her family watches helplessly as her illness progresses over the coming days, and suspicious eyes turn to one man, her husband, a beloved and ambitious local dentist. But as she fights for her life, the investigation into what happened will take a shocking turn that no one saw coming.
Our point is not to put you away, it's to put the person away that caused this to your wife. And that's where we're
that
at.
person is my wife.
The following report is based on official police records.
Wait. What if the person's mom? You already poisoned her. We know he poisoned her. And now you trying to blame it on her? You didn't even try to point a finger. I would have rather you at least point a random suspect. You really hate her.
And most of the footage has never been seen before until now. It's Monday, March 6, 2023.
Okay.
Home surveillance cameras are recording as 45-year-old Dr. Jim Craig exchanges pleasantries with his wife Angela before heading to work.
what was that? How was you just right?
Well, see, babe.
Goes on forever.
Love you. Have a great day. I'm actually thirsty.
Jim is headed to his Aurora, Colorado
That's
dental
crazy.
practice, which he's seen here promoting on YouTube in 2012.
Hi, this is Dr. Jim Craig with Summerbrook Dental Group. One of the questions I get
Time was not good to you.
asked most commonly by patients is, what is the deal with all of the over-the-counter whitening products that are available out there?
Jim and Angela have been married for more than 20 years by the morning of the 6th, with 6 kids and what looks from the outside like the perfect marriage. But on this seemingly ordinary day, things would go terribly wrong.
They worked out. She had a really hard workout, he said. And then after that, she kind of just like laid down and said that she felt dizzy and she wasn't feeling well.
Angela's illness comes on suddenly and she sends worried text messages to her husband, who immediately leaves work. She also sends messages to her sister Tony, who lives in Utah.
I can't really explain because my brain doesn't want to work. Something feels really weird in my head, and my body is sluggish, and Jim's going to take me to the doctor this morning. I said, well, that's not good and a little scary. When are you going in? He took the girls to a friend, and he should be home soon.
How could you do this to somebody who gave you 6 children? There's not even like a little common decency there. Like, whether you hate my guts, you don't want to be married, whatever reason you have. Is me giving you 6 children not enough? Literally not enough to spare my life. Literally spare my life.
I said, well, what do you think it is?
That's
she said,
crazy.
No idea.
When Jim returns home, he finds Angela in a terrible state.
My phone case is in the bathroom.
Okay, I got it.
Jim is seen carefully leading his wife to the car, and even from a silent video, it's clear that Angela is barely well enough to walk. They go to the hospital, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong. Jim brings her home that afternoon, and he later tells his office manager that Angela suspected something was off.
He said that he initially thought that she had taken something, and that's what was causing all of this. And then he said, and I think she thinks that I drugged her. I was like, oh, that's crazy. And he said, yeah, the hospital ran a drug panel, and on the way home, she had made a comment like, you know, there's some drugs that wouldn't show up on that drug panel.
The cameras watch as Jim and his wife return home,
geez.
Angela clearly still feeling the effects of the
geez.
mysterious ailment. The next morning, she confronts him about what went down at the hospital.
It may not be your fault that they didn't do their due diligence or anything like that, but it's your fault they treated me differently. Like, I did it to myself. And, like, nothing I said could be believed.
I didn't say to her, I'm afraid she did this to herself. I just said, are you going to do a drug panel?
You think that's not enough?
Neither of us said, I think she did this to herself, or I think she took drugs, or I think that... Neither of us said that.
And how do you think it would have gone if you had actually defended me?
Well, I also wanted a drug panel because you were accusing me. I wanted that for me, too.
It may be the first sign of strain caught by the cameras, but as those who know the couple best will reveal, it's far from the first crack in their marriage. 6 years ago, their relationship nearly collapsed.
He came home and announced that he'd been having an affair and he was leaving her. And she was distraught, of course, because she'd been trying to hold their family together for all these years. And she was trying to figure out whether she should just leave or try to fight for it or see, is he serious? You know, but she was pretty solid on the affair.
But Angela didn't want to divorce, and according to her sister, the infidelity was quickly overshadowed by an even more serious incident.
And then she called me one day and she was mad.
And you know what? I'm not going to keep pausing too much, but this confirms all my thoughts and all my living practices of, like, if you cheat on me, like, you hate me enough to kill me. And I know some people might be like, okay, girl, you're dragging it, but it's a level of disrespect. It's a level of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many different levels of spite crossed, and I feel like in the act of cheating, it's just like, you really don't even care about me as a human being. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hear me out. Like, hear me out. Like, you were supposed to say, oh, you love me. You this, that. That's all a lie. You just showed me right there when you cheated. That's a lie. So now I don't even know who you are. You could be a killer. I always thought that. And now this just reaffirms my thoughts.
Like, of course, nature of life with when someone's cheated on you, right? She said that he had sedated her.
According to Tony, Jim drugged Angela without her knowledge so that he would have enough time to carry out his final plan, injecting himself with something that would end not only his marriage, but his life. He never went through with it, but the emotional wounds from that day had not healed by the morning of March 7th, 2023.
Well, I also wanted a drug panel because you were accusing me.
When texting her husband the day she suddenly fell ill, Angela wrote, "I feel drugged." Jim replied, "Given our history, I know that must be triggering.
What history?
Just for the record, I didn't drug you."
What history?
But I am angry. I'm angry at you and angry at him, and I'm absolutely filing a complaint with them. They didn't do anything except send me home and recommend that I see my PCP, and you didn't do anything. You just brought me home. You didn't even try to call my PCP or try to call anybody or try to do anything. You just brought me home.
Angela's suspicions may not only stem from the drugging 6 years ago, but from something that happened much more recently.
I'm sorry, why do we keep skipping over that drugging?
So when she texted me, she started it with, "I'm not really ready to talk yet. That's right. Yeah. But I'm leaving Jim. He's left," how did she put it? "He's made it impossible for me to stay."
Only 4 months before falling ill, Angela discovered that Jim had created a profile on a matchmaking site called Seeking.com. Before long, he'd found a woman to spend time with.
You bold bitch. You bold bitch. You can't even cheat on me in private. You go on the interweb and cheat on me? You're not even picking up random women at Target, at Walmart, at the dollar store. You doing it on the app.
James and I had a relationship for, honestly, I think it might have been like 3 weeks, maybe a month.
Okay.
And it was like November and December, ended in December. This is embarrassing to admit, met him on a sugar daddy site.
Okay. Did he take you on any vacations or anything?
He did. That was December. We went up to Bozeman, and then his wife found out, and immediately the next day we came back to Denver.
Okay. So she found out while you guys were in Bozeman.
Correct.
Is what he
we had
okay.
We didn't even spend 24 hours in Bozeman.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
Jim managed to smooth things over with Angela, promising that he was merely stringing women along with attention and money, but with no intention of actually cheating. But even on March 1st, after Jim returned from a speaking engagement in Las Vegas, texts show that the mistrust
Eskimo! Thank you so much for the follow. Hey.
Remained. Is there anything else you're not telling me? Angela asked. Jim replied, no, there really isn't anything else to disclose. I really was in Las Vegas by myself, and I don't want to sleep with anyone else but you. By March 8th, 2 days after Angela's trip to the hospital, things have settled a bit, or at least it would seem.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you haven't been eating.
At all.
What?
And I didn't exercise today, so.
Yeah, that's true. Please don't exercise today. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
I don't think I could if I wanted to.
Good. Because I don't want you to exercise today and then like pass out and be dead on the bathroom floor.
That's a weird comment.
The day passes without incident, but the next day, Angela takes another sudden turn for the worse.
And you know what's so crazy? He's just like waiting for her to drop. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, any day now. That's so crazy.
Hey, Mom just threw up and she asked me to call you. And how long I think
Angela's daughter takes her back to the hospital, but this time she won't be coming back home so quickly.
She has been battling a really weird illness over the last 4 days, we have been to the emergency room twice, urgent care once, and now she has been admitted to the hospital even though nobody can figure out what's wrong, period.
But his wife's increasingly serious illness appears to be no match for Jim's cheerful disposition.
Whistling happy. Could have just left and ran off with one of them sugar babies, by the way.
This energy would extend to his interactions with Angela's family and friends over the next 5 days as he updated them about her condition. In one text, he says of the medical mystery, "If it wasn't my wife, this would be kind of a fun puzzle to try to work out."
It's funny because 90% of the time she seems like she's doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden she'll have a crash or something. It's hard to predict when that'll happen. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
It's just back and forth, and then it's like, I know, but most of the time, 90% and then she'll crash and die. But it's hard to predict when that's going to happen. We don't know. Gosh, isn't this funny? This is like a conundrum, isn't it? Crazy. But look at this funny joke.
The sickness wasn't getting better, and the doctors did every MRI, CT scan, test, labs, everything. No one could figure out what the heck was going on.
Sunday, I had texted him, just checking in. How's everything going? Going okay. She had a huge crash last night, and the doctors had a hard time reviving her again. But today is a lot better. I'm hoping they will let her come home tomorrow. Her brother's driving in town, so he and my sister-in-law can help out with my kids, and I should be able to work.
If my wife was going through what
Why
she
would
was
you be
going
going to
through,
work?
the last thing on my mind would have been my patient.
You're a dentist. No shade to my dentists out there. You're a dentist. Your patients will be okay. Your patients will be okay. Your wife and mother of your 6 children is literally on her deathbed. Your patients will be okay.
Would have been, hopefully I'll be at work next week. None of that stuff, right? My full attention would have been with my wife.
Right.
Did that strike you as odd?
It did. Yeah. And what was weird to me too is one day last week, and I don't remember what day it was, but I was talking to him on the phone. And he had made a comment, I don't think she's going to make it through the night.
On Sunday,
The feeling can wait. You know what I'm saying?
March 11th, 2 days into Angela's hospital stay, Jim calls her sister, Tony.
And he just says, and I'm telling you right now, Tony, if she dies from this, I'm not allowing him to do an autopsy.
Okay, so this is where it came in.
And I said, whoa.
This is where
she is not dying, number one. And number two, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, they don't know what they're doing, and they've already done enough to her. I'm not letting them cut on her.
But despite Jim's pessimism, Angela slowly improves. And by Tuesday, March 14th, the hospital sends her home once again. That night, Jim texts her sister to provide a grim update.
Tony, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to tell the whole family this, but she doesn't look good. It's not as bad as when I came home on Monday and saw her, but she's in really bad shape.
This time around, Angela's brother Mark and his wife are in town to watch over her while Jim goes to work on Wednesday morning, March 15th.
She wanted to try to come outside and eat, and Jim had pressed make sure she takes her meds that morning. Make sure she takes her meds. And she went back into her room, and 30 minutes later, Mark went in, and she did not look good. And she was not doing well.
The camera watches as Mark and his wife lead her to the car to head back to the hospital. It would be the last time Angela would ever appear on her own home surveillance cameras. They get to the hospital and check Angela in. Not long after, Jim is seen on camera arriving at the hospital himself. He stays for about 20 minutes and then leaves again, right around the time Tony calls him to find out what's happening with her sister.
And so I called him. I'm like, I want to know what's going on right now.
They be getting wicked in hospitals. I'm not mad at it.
So he starts talking to me, but he's not at the hospital. And I'm like, you're not there? And he's like, well...
Is it normal? Yeah. I was gonna say, like, no, but yeah, like, if I walked into a hospital and there was a metal detector, I wouldn't think twice about it. I've only seen those in airports there. Oh, baby, there are a lot more places than just airports.
I had to go, like, apparently he had gone to the hospital. Mark said he did initially come there, but then he told me, I had to go back to work and get some things kind of squared away so I can go back up to the hospital, and I'm just going to run through a couple of drive-thrus and get some food.
Started getting some text messages that she wasn't doing well again, and things were not really looking good at all. Like, things took a turn for the worse. Jim and my wife had more communication today. I had no communication with Jim until I got to the hospital. Okay. But I started getting more information from my wife today. And at one point she says, she called me and she's like, I think Angie's gonna die. And I was like, are you being serious?
On the surveillance system, Jim is seen going into Angela's room, leaving, and then going back in again, all within the span of a few minutes. Jim stays in her room for only 1 minute this last time, and when he comes out again, it's very obvious that Angela's condition has suddenly and dramatically changed.
There's a whole slew of doctors. There was like 5 of them. I was like, this is not good.
Oh, that's weird.
I know how to come. Yeah, you know. I was like, this is not good. They're bringing witnesses, a panel of witnesses. And I looked at my wife and I said, that's not good. And as soon as the door opened, after 10 minutes, Jim came out and was just bawling. And they basically told him that she's not going to make it.
The next thing I get, he says, hang on, crash. Who kind of a sick person does that? Mm-hmm. And I'm panicked. They said, what crash, Jim? Are they able to bring her back? I don't know what's going on. They think seizure. Intubating her. Why? Now I know it's really bad because they're intubating her. Mm-hmm. Can't get the tube in. Emergency anesthesia team is paged. What? Why? She's not maintaining her airway, bagging her. Cannot get the breathing tube in. What does the anesthesia team do? Get the tube in. Are they there yet? I mean, I'm just panicking.
The staff at University Hospital does everything they can to bring Angela back following a seizure and a rapid medical decline, but it's no use. Because she's an organ donor, she's put on life support in the ICU. But just as her family and friends begin to face this tragic ending, an unimaginable suspicion arises. It comes via Jim's office manager, Caitlin, who reveals that she's been holding on to a dreadful secret.
Don't piss me off, bitch. If you got some life-saving information, you're going to make me mad. You're going to make me mad. Please tell me you found this out after the fact.
So I called Jackie and I told her, I'm going to tell you something and it's going to sound really insane. And she said, I know what you're going to say. I have the same thought. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she goes, well, I had the same thought that maybe Dr. Craig had something to do with this.
As Caitlin continues to share, it becomes clear that this is far more than idle speculation.
Last Monday, the 6th, Dr. Craig, his wife, got really sick. That was the first day that he left in the middle of the day to take her to the hospital. Later that night, he had come back to the office. Everybody had left. I was still working. So when I was leaving, his office, like his light was off. And so I thought that he had left. And when I got to the very last operatory, he was sitting in there. And he was sitting in the dark. The light was off. And he was on the computer in there, which was really strange because he has a laptop and a desktop in his office.
Caitlin would soon have a very good reason to question what exactly Jim was working on in the dark.
So I left the office about 5:45, and he had texted me at 6:06 saying that he was having a personal package delivered to the office, and when it came in, to please just put it on his desk. This past Monday, the 13th, it came in. My receptionist is the one that originally got the box and opened it. And when I was putting the packing slip back into the box, I saw that it said potassium cyanide.
Okay.
And so I closed the box back up. I gave it to him. I looked up what cyanide poisoning was, and kind of was looking at the side effects from that, and that was everything that his wife was going through.
Caitlin shares this terrible secret with both of the practice's managing partners, including Ryan, who is still at the hospital.
And so potassium cyanide is not something that we use in dentistry.
Okay.
I don't even know how to acquire potassium cyanide. I've never looked how to acquire potassium cyanide because it's never something that we would ever use in dentistry.
Disturbed by the potential implications of this package, Ryan decides to tell a member of the hospital staff, just in case there is still a chance to save Angela.
And I just said, I'm not accusing of Jim of anything. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm concerned about if this is potentially reversible. I know it's been a mystery of trying to figure out what's going on with Angie, but in lieu of this information,
right. If they can give her something, right?
There's something. I mean, I've never Googled cyanide poisoning. I don't know anything about. It's outside my scope of practice and my realm of practice. I have no idea. It was pretty brief. It was pretty quick. It was like maybe 3 minutes. And he was obviously like, what the heck? Taken back by what I was saying. I was taken back by what I was saying.
Angela, who no longer shows any signs of brain activity, is beyond saving. But the staff wastes no time in contacting the police.
Hello, non-emergency. This is Paula. How may I help you?
Hi, my name is Chelsea. I am one of the forensic nurses here at University Hospital. I am needing to make a mandated SBI report, IPV.
Do not Google that. Do not Google that.
And needing officer response. We have a suspected potassium cyanide poisoning.
It doesn't take long before Jim begins to realize that something is up. One of his first moves is to give Ryan a call.
He says, Ryan, I got some disturbing news. And I said, did you say something to somebody?
Huh?
And I said, yeah, I did. And I told him exactly what I said to the nurse. And I said, Jim, what was in the package? I said, did you order a package? He said, kind of paused. He said, yeah, I did. I said, what was in the package? He goes, oh, it was a ring for Angie. It's going to be a surprise.
Please.
And I said, Jim, that's not what was in the package. And he goes, what do you mean? And I was like, the package was opened. And he's like, no, it wasn't. I said, yes, it was, Jim. Jim, I know what's in the package. And he wouldn't admit to what was in the package. And I said, Jim, potassium cyanide was in the package. Why do you have potassium cyanide?
The shocking answer to that question is one that Jim will give to many people before this investigation is finished. But when police go out to his house that night, his lips are sealed.
How would you do that to your children? That's what not only do you hate her, right? That's evident, right? You hate your children. You literally hate your children. How can they continue living knowing that their father hates their guts? hates them so much that they will kill their mother. Because you have to think about it. It's layers to this. Yeah, he's killing his wife. He's killing somebody's daughter. He's killing their mother. And he's looking his children in the eye and like, yeah, I'm going to kill your mama. Like, you know what I'm saying? No care, no regard, no remorse, no like, oh, you know, they'll get over it. Like, huh?
All right. So, we'll have to deal with him then too. So he won't be allowed either. I mean, absolutely nobody can go in. So
okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
All right. Say, Brian,
exactly.
We got the husband right here.
Because not only now do they have to deal with the pain of knowing that their mother is gone, right? And that's a pain, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't even put into words. But knowing that your father did it and that he was doing it for weeks and he was poisoning her and he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Did you talk to any officers up there?
No.
Okay. I think our detectives are going to want to talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah, would that be okay?
I think so.
Okay.
I've never done this before. Do I need to do like on the shows and say I need a lawyer or something?
No, you're not a suspect or anything that I'm aware of. They just want to, see what's going on here. Okay. Can you hang tight for a second? I'm going to give them a call and see what they want to, if they want you to come in or whatever.
A few minutes later, the officer returns.
They want to know if you'll just meet them down at the station there.
I will, and I think I have to do that. Well, I think I have the information that they're looking for, but I'm scared to death to share it without an attorney. So I'll go down there, but I don't want to talk to them without an attorney.
Okay.
But I have the information they're looking for.
It's...
And I'm not dangerous, and I'm not a flight
It's completely voluntary. You don't have to. I mean, we're not forcing you to go.
Okay. But I do want to talk to him.
Okay.
I just want to do it with an attorney.
like, even like his words, I'm not dangerous, I'm not a flight risk. He's not even like, my wife just passed away and you guys are up here questioning me about some bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine your response would be if you're a completely innocent man and some 15 officers at your house, random people, they're accusing you, and you're like, my wife just died and this is what y'all are doing? You know, that's what I would be like. I would be like, if y'all don't get out of my face. But he's like, I need my attorney. You know what I'm saying? I know what y'all gonna talk about. I'm not a flight risk.
Jim isn't talking, but the police tell him and his family that they'll have to stay somewhere else for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, you're free to go. You're not under arrest or anything like that. So, they'll be in touch with you.
Okay. When I pulled up, I thought there was a vigil going on. I didn't know. PD2. This isn't quite as welcoming, but I get it.
The next day, the cops search Summerbrook Dental, and 2 detectives assigned to the case head out to see Jim.
I'm Detective Olson. This is Detective Graw.
Okay.
I guess we're coming to, talk to you or kind of see if you want to talk to us.
Okay.
Is that something you're interested in?
No.
Okay. And that's fine. So we have a search warrant for this house, but basically for your cell phone, Angela's cell phone, your wallet and or your laptop.
He's panicking. You should have just never did
The detectives ask Jim to come out to his truck so they can photograph the contents of his wallet.
So, am I a suspect in something right now then?
So here's where we're at. There are questions.
Yeah. And I have
based
answers.
on what we've heard.
Yeah. I know what they are and I have the answers.
Okay, well, until they're answered, it's hard to say yes or no to what you just asked me. Am I a suspect or not? Well, I guess it kind of depends. It kind of depends how this shakes out. We're hoping this takes that turn and it's not as big a deal as it sounds, but we're going to still treat it like it could be criminal until we find out otherwise. But your attorney's going to tell you
I just
not to talk to us without them there.
I know.
So,
no, I guess what I mean is there's going to be a funeral coming up. I just don't want to be like handcuffed in front of my kids while I'm making funeral preps and taking off to jail.
And that's why we tried to call Jennifer today, and that's why I knocked on the door lightly, and we didn't come like we're just in our jackets for the decency of your family.
Later that day, Tony, who has arrived in town with several of Angela's other siblings, has 2 interactions with Jim that strike her as off-key.
And he comes over and he goes, I have a funny story. I think you guys will appreciate it. He's like, yeah, we were in the car and said, now that Mom's gone, can we watch Sharknado? I looked at him. God, are you kidding me? But I thought, what is that? So now that Mom's gone, everyone can do everything bad? then he goes, yeah, I just did all of her laundry, and we're very picky laundry people. I'm like, whites do not go with any other color. You know, I have everything separated. Half of it's dried out, you know, and he's like, yeah, I did all of her laundry and I stuck everything in the same load just to stick it to her.
What?
Out loud, no.
2 days later, on March 18th,
That's the opposite reaction you should have. Like, I think that would be something like, even if it might have irritated you, you know, living with it, like once they were gone, like, you know what I'm saying, you would still want to do, you know, in memory of them, like a sweet, like, look, and I'm doing your laundry how you want, you know, I'm doing your laundry like how you always told me, you know, you like, you could have just got a divorce, got your own house and did your laundry how you wanted to.
is taken off life support and passes away. That night, Detective Olson asks Jim to meet them so they can give him his phone back. But as Jim soon finds out, that's only a pretense.
Oh, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Well,
yeah. Hello. Hi.
All right, Bob. You are under arrest.
Okay.
Okay, first degree murder.
Whoa. Okay. I didn't expect this. No. Sorry for that. I thought I was just getting back.
As Jim is taken into custody, a detective lays it out for his brother.
Just for you and the family, I mean, obviously this is shocking. From our standpoint, he's responsible for Angela's death. Okay, no doubt in our mind.
Jesus. In this case, then, are we just supposed to proceed through the funeral without him?
Yes, he's not going to be able to get out of jail.
I mean, if you guys... Will he be able to attend the funeral?
No.
That's
no.
Cool.
No.
Why would he?
He won't have a bond, so he won't be able to get out. And I think if you really sit back and wrap your mind around it, I don't think he should be at the
exactly.
funeral. He's the one who caused the funeral to happen.
He's still innocent until proven guilty.
It's true.
Report, right?
It's true. But I just want to give you a heads up that that's why we're here, and that's why he's got a warrant for his arrest, and that's why he's in custody.
But there's a vast difference between being arrested and being convicted, and there is much more to this story than meets the eye.
They do have an arrest warrant for the murder of Angela. Oh my gosh. So I know that, you know, you've expressed a few times that you have the answers and want to tell us. I just want to give you that opportunity to tell us what you know. And
having two women in the room, well, I don't know if that's his attorney, his lawyer in the corner that's cut off camera, but having a woman interview him is very interesting tactics.
If you have insight on kind of what happened, or, I mean, I know you've talked to DHS, Department of Human Services, and you've kind of alluded when I've talked to you. I just wanted to just give you the opportunity.
I really want that. I haven't had my phone, so I haven't been able to talk to the attorney that I reached out to, because as you can imagine, this is terrifying for me. Mm-hmm. And you both seem very nice and like you're on my side, but I know how this works, and I don't want to incriminate myself or say anything stupid. Or there are answers, and this makes a lot of sense once those answers come out, but I don't know how to navigate this. I've never done this before, and I'm scared to death.
Although Jim is still reluctant to tell his side of the story, he does have one thing he wants to make perfectly clear.
I can tell you I did not kill my wife.
I paid somebody to do it.
After establishing that he won't be getting out of jail tonight because he's not been given a bond, Jim tries to see if there might be another way.
And then what happens if I talk to you and tell you everything I know? Then what?
Every case is different, so we can't really, I guess, give you direction, if that makes sense, because we don't know what information you have. So we only know what we have currently.
And what do you have currently?
Well, that's typically how we do this, is if we're going to have a conversation, we would Mirandize you, and then you would talk to us and we would talk to you, type of thing. We don't go into all the details of what we have, because this is your opportunity to talk, really, if you want to.
What's up, Crunch?
Oh my gosh. I have all of the answers that you need, but I can't.
This is so weird. Like, I got all the answers, but when she was poisoned, you had no answers.
Doc, I can't. The one attorney that I've talked to has said, don't say anything, because you could just incriminate yourself, and I'm totally naive at this. I don't know what I'm doing. And you both seem very nice, but I know that your job is to put me away.
Well, our job is to figure out what happened. Our point is not to put you away, it's to put the person away that caused this to your wife. And that's where we're at.
Person is my wife.
With that stunning question, Jim again falls into silence. But this isn't the first investigators have heard of this explanation. Jim floated it for the first time in that phone call with his business partner.
I said, why do you need potassium cyanide? And he said, he's like, there's a lot of pauses with deep breaths. He goes, I ordered it for her.
Oh, please.
And he basically said that he had ordered the potassium cyanide at her request.
Oh, please.
He bought it for her, and that it was a game of chicken. He said, I bought it. I actually didn't think she would use it. He insinuated that she took it on her own. Started saying things like, this looks bad.
Oh, please. So your wife comes to you with the idea like, hey, I want to order this dangerous, undetectable drug to take. And you say, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, what? She took it? And now I'm getting blamed for her murder? Like, what? If my loved one, my wife, my husband, what are you talking about? I'm putting you in therapy now. What are you talking about? Hell no. What are you cool?
I said, Jim. I said, yeah, it does. I said, I think you should stop talking to me. I said, I think you need a lawyer.
When detectives ask Angela's family and friends what they think about Jim's explanation, they're more than a little skeptical that Angela would do such a thing, no matter how bad her marriage was.
She wouldn't take something slowly to put herself in absolute pain and fear for 10 days.
I'd be surprised. That would shock
And then
me.
she keep wanting to go back to the hospital to get recovery. She would have just been like, oh, but no, y'all, I would just stay in bed and take some NyQuil. No, y'all, no. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't continuously like, no, let's go to the ER. Like, no, something's wrong. No, let's update the family. She was like, y'all, I'm not feeling good, and then stay in bed until, you know what I'm saying? If that was her intention.
If she was. That's not her personality.
I will say this, Angie, never.
Back with Jim, the detectives aren't sharing their evidence, but they let him know that things aren't looking good.
The information at this time leads to you. So that's why we're where we're at right now.
Oh, this is horrible. Mm-hmm. Because I know how this looks. I knew exactly how this was going to look. And so I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know, Detective Wilson.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I mean, this is a scary situation. We're not here to pretend that it is.
Yeah, it's really scary.
And
my
that's
kids
why
could lose both of their parents.
You didn't think about that beforehand.
I didn't do this. I don't know how to exonerate myself. I don't know what to do.
all I can just say is I'm sorry, and I'm sorry that we're here and in this situation.
I am too.
This nigga's crazy. Oh my God. I'll be like, I can't believe I let this man play in my mouth. That sounds insane. But I can't believe I let this dentist, do work in my mouth. Like, let me check myself out. Let me go to the hospital and say, who knows what he be doing? I'm not closing my eyes no more at the dentist.
Jim never goes into further detail with the detectives, but the investigation is still very much in its infancy. Police have obtained the surveillance footage from Jim's house, from which they hope to find a smoking gun. But the videos seem to show all the hallmarks of a loving, happy couple in the days leading up to Angela's illness.
Father, I accidentally hand washed your pants.
Oh.
That must be so heartbreaking to think you're loved to an extent. And I'm only saying an extent because he has been openly caught cheating on her multiple times. So I'm gonna say be loved to an extent. Oh, my birthday. But that must be so sad. Like, you getting this affection, this love, probably what she always wanted from him. Like, him to get his act together, him to show back up in this marriage and thinking like, you know what I'm saying? He's finally turning a new leaf and he's really just like slowly killing you. That's crazy. That's so sad.
You got my heart.
But perhaps there are signs of something darker underneath the surface, even if only in retrospect.
Every time I get a package in the mail, now I'm like, I should order stuff. Oh, good. My custom shoes that I've been ordering are starting to come in. Oh. What?
Your custom shoes that you've been ordering, how many are there?
I think 3 pairs.
That is super blue.
I know, I like it.
Okay, what are you going to wear with it?
My gray suit and a blue shirt when I speak in Las Vegas.
Jim went to Las Vegas a few days after that conversation, and it was there that he met another woman, an orthodontist from Texas named Karen. Police want to speak with her next, and fortunately for them, she happens to be in town.
I bet she is too.
Hi, Karen.
Yes.
I'm Sergeant Lawnecker with the Aurora Homicide Unit. We've taken Jim into custody for homicide, and I was wondering if you have a minute to speak with me.
Can I,
Yeah, what get dressed? Yep.
She not shocked enough for me. Homicide, jail, custody. I would have been, huh? She not shocked enough.
So I don't know. Basically, obviously, I didn't find you by a miracle. We are aware of yours and Jim's relationship, and basically your emails and stuff back and forth between each other. And he's been taken into custody for killing his wife.
Nothing.
So
Nothing. You know what would be if somebody said that? Wife? Killing? Mouth to the floor. She's like, did you help? Did he get it from you? Something's not adding up. I would need some time. I feel like it's certain words that should wake you up. I don't think you need that much time. I don't know.
You know.
If somebody even said, oh, they broke in your car downstairs, you're like, but then after about killings?
Obviously, we consider you to be a motive for him to do that. I don't know what kind of communications he's had with you about his wife and what's been going on with her. We have noticed that you seem to come to Denver when his wife was in the hospital. And I don't know if that's just what kind of timing is, that is, or what he's telling you, or how you guys are setting up when you're going to come out here. So I don't know if you can shed any light on any of that.
A search of Jim's email account shows messages between the two of them, some of which show Karen's travel itinerary. One trip overlapping with Angela's first extended hospital stay, and a second trip overlapping with Angela's final crash and eventual.
So you can get with your side chick? That's it?
Death. But Karen says those dates are misleading.
I had a ticket for the 8th that I changed to.
You didn't come out here then?
No.
Okay.
I had Southwest, so it was free to change.
Okay.
So I just changed the dates to the 16th.
So this is the first time you've come out here?
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet him?
You don't just change the dates to the 16th. Don't you have a hotel reservation? Did you just change the dates for your hotel reservations? I'm sure it's possible. But why were you out here anyway? You were out here for a reason, for a date. If it was work, that would make sense. You got to be here at a convention and a speaking event, whatever, on a certain day. That would make sense. You're not making sense.
Dental meeting in Las Vegas.
Though Karen acknowledges that she's out here to see Jim, she says that their relationship is not as far along as their messages might suggest.
I mean, we shared a lot of, personal information kind of quickly, just like history and, but we haven't been physically intimate
So you out here and you don't even know what the dick like. Y'all about to piss me off. You don't even know what the dick like. You out here. He killing his wife. You don't even... I'm sorry for my language, but...
You have not been sexually intimate with him? What was the purpose of some of those text exchange or email exchanges then? Because they're very sexually explicit.
What was the purpose?
I mean, I guess I find it hard to believe that he would send something like that to you without having some kind of sexual relationship with you.
I mean, there's been physical intimacy to some degree, but we haven't had intercourse.
Okay.
Karen says that Jim told her that he and Angela had filed for divorce in January.
She has to be lying because, mind you, she still hasn't acknowledged the killing part. She still hasn't acknowledged the killing part. You know what I'm saying? Because something ain't adding up.
A month before they met in Las Vegas.
He said, I'm going to sit down with her tonight. We're going to start to talk about just about the kids, about how things are going to look during mediation, things like that. And that she had said that she probably was going to move back to where her family is, and just they had been just kind of talking about what things were going to look like. He did tell me when they talked that night, I'm kind of worried that she might hurt herself.
I'm thinking about it.
We've had a history of that.
Has he talked to you at all about buying cyanide?
No.
Any other poisons? Anything like that?
The detective decides to set Karen straight on what Jim has been up to.
He's never told her he wants a divorce. He's never told her. There's no talk of him.
She know that. Come on, we don't gotta explain to this grown-ass woman that a married man of 50 years ain't really leaving his wife and he's just out here having fun and he's stringing you along. We shouldn't have to tell a grown-ass woman that. That's lessons for the 20-year-olds. That's lessons for the 20-year-olds. I don't want to hear this.
Living out with the kids. She has no idea anything about a divorce. He's purchased
You too damn old to
poisons,
believe anybody's word.
and she's now dead because of poisons. So a lot of the things he's told you, assuming you've told me the truth, are all nonsense. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I mean, the real victim here is his wife. Big time.
The next morning, Karen talks to Detective Olson. She shares a conversation she had with Jim after Angela passed, in which he talked about all the things he would
you knew his wife was dead.
Need to do to get his affairs in order.
You knew his wife was dead and you flew out because his wife was dead. And you said, perfect, my time.
Life insurance was in that string of thought, and I was like, oh, is life insurance going to change if this is, self-inflicted? And he said, no, I got a policy that doesn't have that, that has an exclusion for that due to our history.
While Jim's explanation about the life insurance line.
What? He says, hey, wife dead. Whether you believe like he caused it, he had any parts, or they was already on the verge of the divorce, or they divorced 2 months ago. They said January, 2 months ago. You said, well, let me go fly down there and see you. You desperate bitch. Oh my God.
Lines up with his story that Angela did this
I'm sorry to get on her, but I'm not believing it.
to herself. It also opens the door to another possible motive. And according to Ryan, Jim could use the money.
It was in January where we decided as a company that we could not continue to pay his creditors from his first bankruptcy at the level that we were paying it, and he was going to have to take some more involvement in it. And he was going to take a pay cut a little bit. So I know that probably creates some financial pressure on him a little bit. So we've put in about $350,000
of your dad
saving his.
According to Elizabeth,
what company that is?
the woman Jim met on Seeking.com and took to Bozeman, Montana, this financial strain didn't stop Jim from spending his money.
Did he give you, I'm guessing he paid for that trip, correct?
Correct. Yep.
And then did he give you any more funds other than just the trip?
He did.
Yeah.
And how much was that?
I want to say in total it was probably about $9,000.
Okay.
It was for the monthly allowance that we had talked about.
Mind you, his kid's about to be on the street. House about to get taken by the bank. Job put him out. He said, well, let me give this random woman $9,000 in a trip.
As part of a traditional sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship.
According to prosecutors, Jim was the sole beneficiary on more than $4 million of life insurance policies in Angela's name.
Wow.
But Karen, who still believes that Angela may have caused her own tragedy,
I bet you
is
would.
concerned about their 6 kids.
I mean, obviously my hope is that I'm right and that they don't lose a mom and a dad, you know.
Oh, now you concerned about the kids. You weren't concerned about the kids when you didn't want to talk to him about, staying for the kids. Or you weren't concerned about the kids about getting the mom therapy if she was also suicidal. You weren't concerned about the kids then and saving the mom. Oh, now you're concerned about the kids.
I agree.
While the detective is sympathetic to Karen's position,
I'm not sympathetic.
Angela's friends aren't as understanding.
You're okay with them murdering his wife?
No, yeah. That's
I was just like, okay.
And we interviewed her the night he was arrested.
Wait.
Stick to Karen's position.
No, yeah.
That's I was just like, okay.
And we interviewed her the night he was arrested, and then I interviewed her again this morning. And really, it was just to get to the bottom of, did she know?
Right.
Is she a core conspirator?
Were you involved?
I don't think she knew.
She
I
knew.
think he schmoozed her and
Oh yeah.
did ever so. I mean,
She probably also doesn't know he's broke too, so.
her life has been blown up as well. I don't think she. I mean, obviously, she didn't ask for this.
Her life been blown up. She has no kids with this man. She is not married to this man. She met this man 2 months ago. How was her life blown the fuck? Oh, please. I'm about to slap that bitch. Not her, not the detective, not the friend, the bitch that's in the hotel. She's She's distraught. Her world's been blown up. There's 6 kids out there right now with no mama.
Indeed, it's clear that the fallout from this case has affected everyone involved at the deepest level.
It just is psychotic. It just is a whole another layer of just
First person with emotion, by the way.
wicked. To watch your kids.
That's what I
Who
said,
does
sweetie.
that?
That's what I said.
And I know we don't know anything, but
Thank you.
just the thought of who does that.
Indeed, not even Detective Olson is immune to the emotional weight of this tragedy.
Thank y'all.
I've never broke down. This case, I feel so bad. It is tragic. I hate these kids. It's we have little kids that we deal with. This is just so. So they.
And you know what's even scary about this case? Not even just this case specifically. I know I'm talking about a lot, but you don't have to watch. It's not even I feel like sometimes people think when tragedies happen, it's random or it's like a random stranger would have did it to her, or you know what I'm saying, like the unimaginable. And this is the unimaginable, and it just makes you think not only from her own husband, somebody we let into the sister, somebody we allowed welcome with open arms into the family for decades. And then from a woman's standpoint, it's like, because you hear stories, you hear how, I'm not saying she was trapped, but how women get trapped financially, get trapped with the kids and staying, you know what I'm saying? And, they're unfortunately, it ends up in tragedy. And it's just like, I know that's just an emotional toll. That's why I'm really just like, I'm really mad. I'm really mad at everybody, including the side chick.
Denial. They will not believe for 1 second that he would do this. And I understand why.
I'm not mad at the kids. I'm not mad at the kids. I'm sure that's the last thing they want to believe. And that's the only people I will let rock the children. The ones you're supposed to be able to trust,
In jail, Jim is determined to prove his innocence one way or the other, and it's to one of those kids that he turns to for help. He sends a letter to his oldest daughter. "I'm going to ask you to help me with something really hard," he writes. We need to make a deepfake video of Mom saying she asked me to order cyanide and that she was going to take it herself. It's only the beginning of Jim's efforts to exonerate himself, as demonstrated by a call police make.
Wow. And you hate the oldest the most. And you hate, oh, I am sending prayers to that eldest child. Not only did her mom get killed by her dad's behind jail for killing her mom. Her dad had the audacity to look her in the eyes, basically. I know it was a letter. Look her in the eyes, basically, and say, can you make a fake video of your mom asking for poison? Good God.
To the mother of his cellmate.
So in the letter that is addressed to both, it says Becca and Will. So I presume, obviously, you go by Becca sometimes. And in that conversation or in that letter, Mr. Craig has essentially asked that your son or you help him with some things in lieu of getting the transplants or the teeth that he would do for you.
Oh my gosh, what do you mean?
So basically he has asked, that, whoever responds to him doesn't use their legal government name, like they use like a code name, or they use even if it's like a nickname, you know what I mean? But that way that you guys would not be traceable to him. And in turn, that person would get a burner phone and a fake ID and essentially help him. And then they would give you the teeth or plans in return.
Absolutely not. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about Mr. Craig or his case?
No.
Okay. He is currently in custody for a murder case.
Oh, wait. I think I misunderstood. I rambled and I think I misunderstood.
One way or the other, and it's to one of those kids that he turns to for help. He sends a letter to his oldest daughter. I'm going to ask you to help me with something really hard, he writes. We need to make a deepfake video of Mom saying she asked me to order cyanide and that she was going to take it herself.
Right.
It's only the beginning of Jim's efforts to exonerate himself, as demonstrated by a call police make to the mother of his cellmate.
So in the letter that is addressed to both, it says Becca and Will. So I presume.
Huh? I'm confused about that part. I might just be slow, but that's fine.
Case.
Oh my God.
Prosecutors also allege that Jim tried to hire a fellow prisoner named Nathaniel to kill Detective Olson.
Oh, wait, the prisoners. Okay, his cell. Okay, I understand. I understand now. I'm sorry. It just clicked. If I'm not mistaken, I could be completely wrong. He asked his cellmate to ask his kid's mom, whatever, to make the deep fake. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
The lead investigator on the case. When that plan fails, he writes to Nathaniel's ex-wife, Cassie, explaining to her that he's been framed by his business partner. He asks her to go to the district attorney, pretending to be a friend of Angela's who can testify that she was suffering from depression and planning to end her own suffering. He also asks that she use her expertise in Photoshop to spoof text messages that can help sell the story. He also reaches out to Karen, the orthodontist he met in Vegas.
He had sent me a message through the Getting Out app that he had sent me letters and basically just saying he was innocent and he's been taken out of the world, an innocent man with no recourse, and yada yada.
Exactly.
It's just like, okay, regardless of your innocence in this death, you were such a liar. I mean, there was so much honesty. Even if you're completely innocent of how she passed away, it's like there was such a high level of just living two lives.
You didn't know that, bitch?
100%.
Which is just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And scary.
Yeah.
And I haven't dated somebody in 30 years.
Yeah.
This is what I do. My first.
Yeah, never mind, y'all. It makes sense. She married the first person out of high school. She didn't get in the street. This is her street.
In 30 freaking years.
In their investigation, police discovered that Jim communicated with Karen using an email address he created only 4 days after meeting her in Las Vegas. They also take a look at Jim's devices and search history, where a bleak picture begins to develop.
So there's nothing really on his phone. There's nothing on his laptop. Computer number 9 and examiner number 9. He's searching, will arsenic show up in an autopsy? What are the top most 5 undetectable poisons to kill a human? And I can go on and on.
That's crazy.
It is absolutely sickening.
On that specific computer, Jim searches, how many grams of pure arsenic will kill a human, where to purchase arsenic, and clicks on a video titled, The 5 Most Dangerous Chemicals on Earth. The new email address he created to communicate with Karen is used for only one other purpose: purchasing poison.
He ordered arsenic first. That was delivered to his house on the 4th while Angie was out of town.
The outside surveillance cameras show the mail truck drive past Jim's house on March 4th. A short while later, Jim is seen walking down the street. He returns minutes later with a couple of envelopes in his hand.
Every time I get a package in the mail, now I'm like, I should order.
It was this purchase of arsenic that investigators believe was used to put Angela in the hospital the first time on March 6th.
Who you killed? You know, don't tell me. Just go to the police. Don't let me know. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
He got up. He made them both like a shake, like a protein shake. And I don't remember what he said he had put in it, but it was like a pre-workout or something with caffeine, and whatever he had put in it was like 3 times the normal amount that she normally takes.
But investigators believe that Jim Craig put something far more dangerous than caffeine into her protein shake that morning.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Before leaving for work that morning, Jim has a question.
You're kind of pale. You feel okay?
Call the waiter, Jim.
Of course, Angela would be anything but fine that morning, or for the little time she had remaining in her life. But as investigators would see for themselves, that single dose of arsenic didn't get the job done.
He also ordered, it's oleander. It's like an extremely poisonous plant, but obviously you can get the derivatives out of it. That was still en route. So actually, I think it's coming to Denver today.
He was going
With the oleander delayed and the potassium cyanide not due for days, Jim is forced to improvise. On the night of March 8th, he leaves his house at 10:40 p.m. He arrives back home 15 minutes later at 10:55. Police later find out that during this time, he purchased 12 bottles of eye redness drops at the local grocery store. The next morning, Jim makes his wife another drink and turns the TV on for her before going to work.
Okay, we can't trust his soul, bro. And look how easy it is. Like, if you have family, if you in a relationship, if you've been in a relationship, if you're in anything, right? And when have you never not asked them to bring you something? Oh, bring me something to drink. Go make me a drink. Make my plate, please. Then you know what I'm saying? I made your plate. You know what I'm saying? How easy it is. Because these are people you trust. So you just, oh, okay, I'll take it. I'll eat after you. Like, she don't question it. Why would she question it? He's brought her millions of drinks.
That would be the day Angela would be taken to the hospital for the second time. Toxicology reports would later confirm that she had tetrahydrozoline in her system at the time of her death. It's the active ingredient in Visine. When swallowed, it can cause illness and even death. And yet it's still not enough to kill Angela. The package of potassium cyanide comes to Jim's office on March 13th, and investigators believe he gave her the first dose inside a capsule that was supposed to contain an antibiotic.
He wrote out this timeline in his phone, basically the hours after he's confronted by Ryan and Michelle.
Detective Olson says that Jim used this memo to tell the full story about Angela's desire to order poison for herself.
And that she finally said, I'm just going to do it. And he said, fine, I'm done. I'm done trying to save you. I'm not going to save you this time. He said that he took the clindamycin and put potassium cyanide in the capsules. Put the potassium cyanide inside the clindamycin capsules. That's it.
I knew it.
It is also in Jim's memo that investigators make one last horrifying realization. Even after Angela was rushed to the hospital for a final time, Jim was apparently not done yet.
He says he went to university, gave her a syringe, which is, no doubt in my mind, that's potassium cyanide, gave it to her. And then he left the room and said, like her arm hurts or something. And he came back and the syringe was empty and that she put it in her IV port at university. And that he took the syringe back and put it in his pocket.
Hospital surveillance cameras show Jim emerging from a side room at approximately 1:53 p.m. before pulling something thin and cylindrical out of his pocket. Less than 30 minutes later, Jim comes out of Angela's room, speaks to the nurses, and the frantic but doomed effort to save Angela's life begins.
So his final dose was actually at the hospital.
He didn't want to come back.
Trying to figure that out.
Jim goes to trial on charges of first...
She was in too much of a good condition. He's like, she keeps fighting back. She keeps surviving. I gotta do it here. I let her recover too much. Wow.
Degree murder after deliberation, 2 counts of tampering with physical evidence, 2 counts of soliciting perjury, and a final count of soliciting first-degree murder. His defense, that he merely purchased arsenic, oleander, tetrahydrozoline, and potassium cyanide at the behest of his wife, is rejected by the jury, and he is found guilty on all counts.
I can't even say that he's narcissistic. All I can say is he's pure evil. He's pure evil.
At Jim's sentencing hearing, Tony said to him, Angela was a light you never deserved.
Ever.
You may have temporarily dimmed her light in this life, but it will continue to shine in those she loves and that love her in return.
And they look just alike.
In July 2025, Dr. Jim Craig is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Good.
His wife, Angela Craig, was 43 years old.
What? She was so young.
If you'd like to see select new videos early and help us keep uncovering case files that rarely come to light, you'll find extra footage and unseen details.
It had to be for the money. I just don't see why not get the divorce. But he gets the divorce, she gets some money. He already broke. In his head, the only way I can get out of this situation and keep the money and gain is killing her. That doesn't even make sense, bro. Maybe stop fucking buying fucking hookers and prostitutes and sugar babies and use that hard-earned degree and make some fucking money. How about that, bro? This is so sad. Rest in peace to her. I send prayers to the family, the children, like I do. I cannot imagine, God forbid. And this only happened, he was sentenced only last year. This is still fresh for them. So, I know this must be crazy for them. Rest in peace to her. This was a W video.